I am glad to be amidst you again after 3.5 months. We are all children of God, you say. God is all light, and we are also light, being children of light. But our light is enveloped by so many coverings, and we are identified in the covering so much so, with the covering so much so, that we have forgotten ourselves. The cause of identification is the attention, which is the expression of our soul. They are, through the outgoing faculties, diffused in the outside world. So we have got, as a man, this man body, a very wonderful house in which we live in. This is considered to be the highest in all creation, and all masters spoke very highly about it. They said, it is next to God. We are divine in nature. We are spirit in man. As spirit is eternal, we are also eternal. Why we fear that we will die? But this greatness of our own, which is innate in us, we have forgotten. So all masters say, well, just realize the Godhood in you, which already exists. You have not to put in from outside. When a master meets, he does not put in anything from outside within you. He simply, your attention, which is the expression of soul and diffused in the world, helps you to withdraw from outside and come to its source, which is our own soul, at the back of the eyes, where our soul is withdrawn from the body and go to the back, to the back of the eyes at the time of death. If we can do that, well, we realize that we are no other than God. So when the masters come, they say, we are in a very pitiable state. We are living in a house where so many outgoing faculties are working. They were meant to serve us. But unfortunately, they, instead of serving us, they are having control over us. They are dragging us like anything. Take the outgoing faculty of sight. Ever since we are born, from that date onward till to this time, our attention has been diffused through the eyes to the outside things. So many impressions we have been receiving through the eyes, they are counted to be about 80%. And some are coming from other outgoing faculties. Next comes as the audition. And the remaining, that is about 14% from the ears. The remaining 6% come through other outgoing faculties. So now what happens, you see, when we see something, we are attracted like anything. We receive impressions. through the eyes, through the ears, and from other sources as well. So much so that our subconscious reservoir is overflowing with the impressions we have been receiving all through life. When even we go to dream, they react there. You see. So if we know how to withdraw or liberate ourselves from the outgoing faculties, there is some hope. But our soul is first under the control of mind. Soul and mind have become one. They are called jiva. Soul is eternal, as I told you before, being of one substance only, consciousness, but coming in contact with mind, it has become the doer. So both combined, being dragged to the outside things through the outgoing faculties, we are identified with them so much so that we have left no idea of our own self. We are souls, not mind too. Take the example of water. It is made of two gases, oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen, is life-giving. When a man is dangerously sick, they say, well, I'll give him a cylinder of oxygen cylinder. And hydrogen gas chokes our throat. Two different things when combined together form water, the quality of which is different from the two. Similarly, we are eternal spirit in man. Combined with mind, we have become the doers, and whatever we sow, so shall we reap. So masters say, be still, what they meant, physically and intellectually. Then you will know that no other than the God within you. So this is the true state of affairs, you might say, in which we are going. We do not know how to liberate ourselves. Outgoing faculties are so strong that in spite of our wishing it, we cannot do it. When we become helpless and we cry, what does it happen? We are souls, as I told you, children of God. God is our true Father. He sees my child is unhappy. He himself cannot of himself come up to me, cannot be liberated. When a man is himself bound hand and foot, how can he lose himself from that binding? There must be somebody who is not bound. A bound man cannot unbound the other man. So you'll find somebody is required who has unbound himself. He has withdrawn his attention from the outside things and the control that the outgoing faculties had on it, liberated it, then analyzed from mind. Then man knows I've got the same God. And further, it is environed by so many casings, you might say, coverings, that is physical, astral, causal, supercausal. Unless liberate all these things, we cannot know, truly speaking, about our own self, although we begin to see. When we first withdraw from outside and rise from this iron curtain of the physical body, we see we are not the physical body. There, that Godhood begins to shine within us. We become conscious of it. And as we progress further, we liberate from the astral and causal coverings. We become more and more conscious of that until we become one. Because after all, we are light. When light is just analyzed from all other things, naturally light just is absorbed in the grander light. Just take the example of a candle, you see. When it is burning, put it straight, the flame will go up. Even you put it, downward, even then the flame will go up. So our soul being light, you see, they always try to go to the source, great source of light, which is called God. That God which came into expression, all scriptures tell us, when God wished, there was light. So we are spark of that light, you see. So you'll find we have got this man body, a wonderful house in which we live in. Here God gave us servants to help us, but they are revolting. They, instead of following us, obeying us, they are dragging us outside. Yeah. And what things come in the way, you see, to which these outgoing faculties drag us, they are players. To whom? To the soul plus mind, the jiva, which is called jiva. So unless we get more bliss in jaya than what we are having now, we cannot leave the outside things. So God has made arrangement, you see. Outside things, players which drag us, they can be divided in two parts. One very beautiful sceneries, beautiful things. When we see any beautiful scenery, any beautiful thing, our attention is drawn. And the second, when we hear very sweet symphonies of the music, we are drawn like anything. These outside two things are the potent things which drag us outside. So God has more bliss, more happiness, more joy, more sweet symphonies of the music of the spheres. All glory and beauty lies within us. Only if we know how to withdraw from outside. We've got a great treasure within us. God is a hidden treasure with all beauty, with all sweet symphonies within us, but we do not know how to be withdraw from outside and enjoy that. This is state of affairs we are in. As a man, we are all one. Now, just take the example of a house where the mistress is there and there are 10 servants given to help her and they revolt. Instead of obeying, they are disobeying everything. Now what will be the fate of the house? Everything topsy-turvy. If the servants are obeying, the house will be clean, everything is set in order. Even in darkness you go, you will see what is what. You see? Otherwise what happens? The tables are upturned, there is no way out, it is all darkness already. You pass on, you just tumble over one thing that falls the other way, there is no light to see. So that is the true condition in which we are having, you see. So masters tell us, first of all, how to have control over these outgoing faculties. They tell us not only tell us but demonstrate to us how to withdraw, how to give you a contact with all beauty, all glory which is within you. Maybe for a while, when you begin to have it the very first day, how to withdraw from outside, first thing, that is difficult. As I told you, we are so much outer impressions within us overflowing that even in dream those come out in the form of dream. Naturally, when you sit in meditation, try to something coming out of which you never dream of it. But those are the impressions which you have been receiving all through life, unconnected. So that is the first difficulty that we have. For that, Master come, they tell us where you get these impressions, how to control it, how to stop to receive impressions from outside. Then, first thing is to enter this house. These, I tell you honestly, the servants had bound the mistress. You see, one dragging this side, the other dragging that way. Result is all house is topsy-turvy in the darkness in the house. So when you come to a master, what does he do? He, since he gives you this teaching, demonstrates it, how to withdraw. First your attention from outside, first enter in the laboratory of the man body, and then how to liberate from the outgoing faculties or senses and rise above it for a while and give you contact with it. Of whom? God. What is God? God is light. God is life. And God is love. You see light. You are given some experience of light, little or more. We feel consciousness. We feel little separate from the body. We begin to see, now we say it is my body, but we do not see, differentiate it practically. Then really he says, oh well, this is something else, like a coat to be taken out, to be put out. And naturally, God is love and love. We are drops of the ocean of our love. Naturally, love is innate in us. That sprouts forth. And as it comes in contact with that God into expression power, which is light and sound principle, it overflows. So this is state of affairs. This is the disease, you might say, or the affairs that we have to set right. For this purpose we have joined various schools of thought. Religions are means to the end. They are the schools of thought in which we have joined. Who are we? We are children of light. Just under the control of mind and outgoing faculties, we are identified with body and outside things so much so that we have forgotten our own self. What to speak of that great power which is controlling each one of us in the man body? Otherwise, we could have run away out of it. We cannot. Their eyes, 2 eyes open, 2 ears open, 2 nostrils open, mouth is there. But we cannot run away out of it. That's the controlling power within us. So for a while when some master comes, what is the function of a master. And what is he? He's a man like you. Of course, outwardly. He's got the same 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 hands, 2 feet. He talks like you. He is also to maintain the body. He does other functions of the world too, but he is conscious of his divine nature. He is conscious co-worker with the divine plan. Although he works at the level of man to help them as a man. So, this is what we have to overcome. For schools of thought or religions were made for the purpose to solve this mystery of life. to be out of this entanglements, you see, or this, obliviousness altogether. We do not know who we are. The little child knows better than us. You ask him who you are, he opens his eyes, opens his mouth, he feels somewhere here. As he grows in years older, you ask him, he says, I am Mr. Such and Such. Further he says, I am a Christian, I am a Hindu, I am a Mohammedan. Again further, I am American, I am French, I am German, I am Indian. Who is he? He is conscious being, you see. That we have forgotten. We go so far away from our own self that we have forgotten our own self. So masters come tell us, they address us either as a man, from the level of a man, O man, awake, or from the level of the soul, conscious being, O children of light, awake. You are asleep. Being under the control of mind, your attention is diffused into the world and identified outside. You are awakened outside and asleep from within. And God power is already within you, awaiting for you. Your true home is the true home of your Father. That is of all consciousness, all wisdom. Why are you stuck fast in this material world and the outside things? These are only temporarily given to you. Body is changing, being made of matter every moment of life. This is the golden opportunity which has been given to us to realize ourselves, to know ourselves, and then know the controlling power which is controlling us in the body and controlling all universe. All masters say like that, of course in their own language, which was prevalent at the time when they came. By parallel study of religion you'll find this. These religions were made just to liberate us from all these outer entanglements, to know ourselves and to know God. These were means to the end. That school and college is creditable, from where many students get degrees. But we have joined those very things. We have forgotten the goal. We simply identify ourselves as one religion, belonging to one religion or the other, or one country or the other. There have been religious wars, there have been patriots wars, in which thousands and millions were killed, and are being killed. Masters, when they come, they give us teaching from this level, universal level. They consider all children of God, you see, as brothers and sisters in God, because we are maintained, controlled by that higher power. So this is the true state of affairs we are going through. So in whatever religion you are, that religion to remain there is a blessing. But not to attain, achieve this lost godhood, well, you are still bound. So for that purpose, Masters tell us what to do. As I told you, the story goes in the old religions, of the Hindu scriptures, there was one very learned Pandit or the minister amongst the Hindu, and there was a King Preachat. King Preachat he was called. He used to read out the scriptures day to day, every day morning in the court. And the scriptures say, those who hear the scriptures and act, they are liberated. Liberation is not something to be had after death, but it is to be seen now, whether you are liberated or not. So many times those scriptures were read over from day to day, month to month. One day, that king preached, sat down, thought over it. Well, I have read in scriptures, whoever hears these scriptures, he is just liberated once for all. But I am bound. Mind is very like a magistrate, you see, tells you while you are bound. If you leave it to him, it is just true. He told the minister, well, look here, I have heard this scripture so many times. Again, I give you a chance to read the whole of the scripture again, from one end to the other. And after that, if I am not liberated, you will be put to death. What happened? In 7 days, the scriptures were read over throughout. And the last day, he came home. Well, lied down in despair, tomorrow is the day of my death. His daughter was very wise, you see. Sometimes daughters are very wise. He asked, Father, why are you so sad? Well, dear daughter, I am to be put to death tomorrow. Why? Because it is laid in scriptures, whoever reads these scriptures and they follow it, they naturally are liberated. Then I know king is not liberated, nor I am liberated. Well, I must be put to death tomorrow. There is no escape from that. And his daughter told him, all right, I will go to the king tomorrow morning and just question him. She went next morning. King asked, why have you come, daughter? Well, I have come to just reply to your question, what you put to my father. What? You're not here. Let us go to the wilderness, all around, you and I. And she also sent for her father too, and got also 2 ropes. He tied with one tree the king and the other with the other his own father. Both were bound with the tree. She came to her father, told, Father, will you kindly unbound the king over there? He says, well, I am bound already, how can I? Then she went to the king, well, king, would you kindly unbound my father? Oh, foolish girl, don't you think I am bound? How can a bound man can unbound the other one? And that is all she wanted, you see. And this is what is happening. We are bound hand and foot by the outgoing faculties. We do not know our own self how to liberate. How can we liberate others? This is a practical question of unbounding oneself. So to read scriptures is not sufficient, mind that. To hear the scriptures is also not sufficient. But there must be somebody who can practically demonstrate how to withdraw from outside for a while, how to rise above these shackles of outgoing faculties, open our inner eye, give a contact within, maybe little or no. If once we do it again and again by regular practice, we will succeed. If at first you don't succeed, then try again. This is what the master does. To give a lecture, to tell you how to say prayers, how to perform certain rites and rituals, that any man can do it after a little time. How to act in pose, how to laugh, how to cry. No, but this is a practical question. Who knows it, who has that experience, is competent, he will give you some experience to start with, maybe little more. And what is wanted there, he wants? Be still. Physically and intellectually. God cannot be known by the outgoing faculties, cannot be known by the intellect, cannot be known by the vital layers or the pranas. It can be known only by the soul. Like alone can know the like. When it is liberated, when it is analyzed, of mind and outgoing faculties. This is practically. Now intellectually that appeals to you, but how to do it? Whatever methods we are having now, reading of scriptures, saying prayers, performing certain rites and rituals, they all relate to the outgoing faculty. And this is something to start when you rise above outgoing faculty. Even with the mind, intellect too, you cannot, unless you are intellectually still. As a matter of inference, you might draw inference to come to some conclusion. But still the mind is working, intellect is working. We must be intellectually still too. Then a sort of transport arises to the soul, and it is unbound. This is all we have to do. So when someone comes to the master, what does he do? He first, all these 10 servants of the outgoing faculties, 5, audition, sight, smell, taste and touch, working to the sense organs of the ears, eyes, nose, tongue and skin. These are to be controlled. If these are controlled, then how should we set in order? Every servant to do his job. All right, you clean the room, you set chairs in order, you light the candle, everything all right. So this is the first thing to be done. Those who are attached are given up to the outside enjoyments, pleasures, may be good, excuse me, or bad. Both cannot rise above body consciousness. That is why Lord Krishna said, good actions and bad actions both are binding, like the gold chains or the iron chains. So this is practical. First thing, what we have at the feet of the Master. He gives you how to withdraw from outside for a while, how to rise above body consciousness for a while. One day cannot become an MA. Rome was not built in a day. But once you get something by regular practice, by obeying his orders, naturally you become adept. The man who is reading in the MA class today, sometimes he is reading in the primary. If those who are reading in the primary, they are given the same help and guidance, well, they can reach the MA class. That is why it says, every saint has its past, and every sinner a future. Man can change. Even the dacoits, you see, can become saints. Valmiki was a dacoit, I tell you. He became Saint Valmiki. He just related the story of Ramayana 18,000 years before it actually happened. So my point is, there is hope for everybody. There is nothing to be disheartened. Only we have to, what experience is given, we have to develop it without intervention of outgoing faculties and intellect. It does not mean you should not use your intellect. Understand. When you understand, sit and do. Let mind not meddle into it. Because if your mind is just clutching, seeing here, there, drawing inference, the intellect is working. And until you are intellectually still, you cannot take a step further. So this is the first thing we have to do. For that, you are advised to keep a diary for self-introspection. You now realize the necessity. But how many are you who are keeping diaries, maintaining diaries daily? I'm afraid it may not be 10%. That is why, even if we do get something, we do not progress wonderfully. We must. So this is first thing we learn at the feet of the Master. What is the difference between a master and an average man? He is a man all the same, as a doctor is a man all the same, like us. But he is known by anatomy, how the system works. how the diseases arise, how can those be cured. Similarly, this is a disease we are suffering. You see? Those who are just adept, competent, going himself beyond these bounds, help others to raise them up. Well, such a man is called a Mahatma. The God in him. You know, who can give you contact with God? No son of man can do it. It is the God absolute when it came into expression. You see, when he came down, then he gave some teachings of the higher because he had seen it. The lower it comes, he knows almost all the way. In the man body, although in the man body, he is conscious of that. That's the difference between a man and average man and a master. So he says, when you come to such master, this is the first thing to be done. And we lack here, I tell you honestly. We are given some experience, but we don't live up to it. Dragged away by the outside pleasures, knowing that God is within us, the priceless jewel, priceless pearl, but we cannot leave off this dross of the outside. Tagore, poet of international flame, says, "O God, I see there is a great wealth in you, but I cannot throw away the filth or the dross of this body." Knowing fully well, we do realize intellectually. And all masters who say, what do they say? They say, God first and world next. And what do we say? We say, world first and God may come after. Truly speaking, we are not after God, we are after world. We pray God. Why? Most of us, we want worldly things. Had that not been the competency with God, nobody would have thought of God too, you see. A weaker man prays before some stronger person. So whatever goes out from the heart of our hearts, he hears, he is there already. He is watching our every action. Ask and it shall be given unto you. This is what all masters say. So this is the first thing, and laying much press on that very point. I've been requesting, directing, I've been begging of you people through my circulars and verbal talks too, and still if you do not do it, we should. So that's the first thing. What will happen? Now you have eyes. You see? When you wish, you may, with your open eyes, you have so much control over your sight, while open eye you do not see. This we can develop, you see. Newton was sitting by a roadside, solving certain mathematical problems. He was so much absorbed in these problems that a band passed by him while playing. He did not hear. Why? Until this attention, which is the outcome of our souls, or with the outgoing faculties, the outgoing faculties do not work. Somebody passed by, asked him, well, Newton, has any band passed by this way? He said, no, I don't know. You might have got experience in your own lives when you're sitting very much absorbed in some thought. Somebody calls you, you do not hear. Somebody comes, sits by you, and you're absorbed. You don't feel who has come and who is gone. So this is the training of the attention, what is called the Sut Yoga, you see. So when that is set, you see, you might be sitting in hundreds of people and still be all alone. This is what Emerson says. When he wanted all loneliness, he went to an inn, you see, where hundreds come and hundreds go. Because there's no concern when anybody is absorbed in his own thoughts. So if you think that you should leave the world and go to the outside world in the wilderness, there also you've got, you see, animals and trees and everything, your attention will be down outside. The only thing required is to control all outgoing faculties. And how to do it, that you can learn from those who have done it and follow the instruction. So naturally, when everything is set, you might have experienced in your life too. When you are cut off from every outside, you feel a sort of rest and peace. At times, not every day, but at times it does. When you are cut off, quite absolved from everything, you feel a sense of pleasure, rest, bliss, peace. Naturally what happens? We are after having that peace prolonged. Naturally, you see, we are children of light, as I told you, like a candle's flame. Its source is up, always wants to go. Even you turn its face downward, even then it will go down. Our soul is of God, you see, of light. It is bound by the outgoing faculties and the body. When it is liberated, it will go up. You see? It is but natural. Then naturally, the true rest comes. How we withdraw our attention from outside, we enter this laboratory of the man body, you see. Just from the burning rays of the sun, when you enter some room, hot, very hot outside, when you enter the air-conditioned room, how rest you feel? It is something like that. You feel it at rest. Some glimpses, when Master comes, only not he shows you how to withdraw from outside and enter this laboratory of the man body. But he also shows you how to rise above senses and have some experience. When there is no questioning of mind, when intellect is at rest, naturally that truth it becomes effulgent. You see light. If you are questioning why this is, why that is not, why that has not come, their mind is not still. You see? That to be still. So what he feels, you see, at that time, the experience of God in the form of light and sound. This is first thing. As you rise, the Master gives you an experience first to how to rise above this iron curtain of the man body. Then as you day-to-day practice, you rise above the astral body, the causal body, the super-causal body. You day-to-day more bliss, more joy, everything like that. Saint Tulsidas, he says when he rose above this body consciousness, reached the causal plane, he had the experience of bliss and joy, he thought, oh, well, that's the most and the highest of all. And he says when he transcended the causal plane into the super-causal and beyond, he thought perhaps this causal plane was only a washing room as compared to that. Those who have tasted that bliss, they are here in the world, but they are bound, you see. Masters are going under the orders of God, you see. They want to go back. Once also, any of us, when have got some experience like that, we wish to go in there. Now why we don't want to go in there? Because we find joy and bliss and happiness in the outside things. And moreover, we have never cared to analyze, to go into the matter, what it is that gives us bliss in the outside things.